So excited to have here with you my new online best friend that we talk to every single day, 40,000 times a day. But we talk because you want to surround yourselves with the people that are rock stars. And so, what is that saying, Sarah? It's like surround yourself with with people that are doing better than you, or don't always be the smartest person in the room, or anything like that. And so, Sarah and I have become friends online for many, many years. We've never met in person. We talk all the time. So I can't wait to finally meet her in person. And if you guys don't know Sarah Strunk, you need to, because she is so funny. She is so clever, and she has such a loyal following of humans because of everything she's going to teach us today. She's going to teach us all her goodness. And hey, Janine, how are you? And everything that makes her super duper successful online. Sarah, if you want to take it away, introduce yourselves to us so that we know who it is that's coming in. As you guys are watching live, put live in the comments. If you're watching the replay, you know how it goes. Hashtag replay in the comments, all of that good stuff. And if you're new to me, hi, hello, my name is Julie. I am a multiple six-figure earner in this online space, and I help you do the same with confidence. And there's a lot of newbies in my group, and so I don't know if everybody exactly knows who I am. I come live usually every Monday, but I had my gremlins, my girls, home yesterday, so I canceled the live on Monday, and here we are today so that we could honor the U.S. holiday of MLK. But anyways, if you're new to me, I come in live. I give you lots of tips, lots of trainings inside of Facebook. And I also teach you how to use social media with confidence so you can show up to be your best self. So, Sarah, tell us a little bit about you. Super excited to have you here, and it's going to be awesome. Hi, Jan. How are you? Facebook users, I can't see everybody. But I see a lot of Facebook users. But hey, guys, how are you? Sarah, take it away.
Thanks, Julie, for awesome introduction. Yes, we became friends, like how I'm going to teach you guys, like through social media, and so it's been awesome talking your ear off every day. So I'm super honored to be in here and talk to your group today. A little bit about me. I am a military wife and mom. My husband serves in the Air Force and has been doing so for 17 years. That moves us around the country a lot. We actually just moved from Missouri to Florida. And so because of that, I needed a job that I could do from home so that I could be around and work through deployments and all of the things that military life throws at us. So I started an online business 12 years ago. And in the last 5 to 6 years, I entered the world of network marketing after not really liking it.
You could say kicking and screaming and thinking it was a pyramid scheme. Like,
yeah, 100% kicking and screaming. I thought it was a pyramid scheme. I didn't tell my husband when I signed up. I literally just wanted a discount on the product and wanted to be able to have it just be another stream of income. Because even 5 years ago, we knew that multiple streams of income is where it's at. So I know it's like the buzzword now because of the economy and everything that's going on, but it's always been a thing to have multiple streams of income. And so jumped into that, built a team, was very successful overnight because of the things that I did 7 years prior to that. And that was building relationships on Facebook. And so that's kind of where my strong point is. And so I think that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm excited to share things with you guys.
So what I want to know before Sarah dives into all of her goodness, because I'm so excited. I ask her questions about it all the time. She can ask, like, I'm going to be like, here's the thing. When you are in network marketing, when you are in business, you need to have leads coming into your funnel, right? So here's the top of your funnel, right? If you're like funneling something, right? You got all these leads coming in over here. It can be through Facebook. It can be through YouTube. It can be through Instagram. It can be through Reels. It doesn't matter where it is, but you have to have leads coming in. So for me personally, you guys know I'm the YouTube person. I know my assistant's on here. If you want to build through YouTube, the link is coming for you guys so you can see my masterclass, because that's personally how I connect with people, is through YouTube, right? Sarah does it through Facebook. It doesn't matter which platform you use, but you have to use a platform. That's it. You have to use a platform. And is Facebook going to make it a little bit quicker than YouTube? Probably, right? But it's constant work where YouTube kind of works in the background for you. But there's no reason that you can't do both to have as many leads as possible coming in at the top of your funnel. So what I want to know in the comments, what is your social media plan of action? Where do you get your leads currently? And be blown away by how easy and simple Sarah makes it to, in addition to get more leads on Facebook. So sorry, I had to add that.
Oh, you're good. That's true. Like that's what we're doing. That's the whole point. That's the whole end game, right? It's just get leads and have new people to talk to. And so that's how we work our business. So yeah.
All right. So Sarah, walk us through it. So you're on Facebook, and then where are you finding all of these leads?
So the biggest thing that I do, and I honestly like didn't even know that this is a strategy. And I think that's why it feels like it's almost like I was telling Julie, it's almost a little bit hard to teach because it's just what I do. It's what I've always done prior to even being in network marketing. Is I am a very active member of Facebook groups. So you've probably heard before, you need to join Facebook groups, and some of you, not some of you, a lot of people are like, I don't know, that feels weird. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to jump in the conversation. Like, how do I get people to follow me? Like, it's just not a natural thing for you. So what I want to share today are some tips on how to make it more natural feeling for you, and just kind of walk you through my process. So yeah, just like I said, I am a member of a lot of Facebook groups. And one of the biggest misconceptions, I think, is that when you hear like you need to be in Facebook groups so you can meet people, is that we tend to jump into groups that are in the niche of whatever we're selling. So if you're selling makeup, you're like, well, I guess I need to be in all the makeup groups because those people are looking for my product. And that's actually not the strategy that I follow. I actually just join groups that I'm interested in. And so what I think is a really good thing to do, to figure out like where do you need to show up on social media is what are you interested in? Like get a piece of paper, write it down. What kind of content do you consume when you're like off the clock? You're not working, you're just like you, me, Sarah. What do I do? What do I interact with on Facebook? What are the videos that I comment on or the things that I engage on? And so I'll just give you guys a list of some of the Facebook groups that I'm in. And so I'm in like golden retriever Facebook groups because I have 2 golden retrievers. I am in ADHD Facebook groups because those groups have helpful tips for me, and that has resources that I like to get. I'm in military spouse groups, and I have an immune deficiency, so I'm in immune deficiency groups. Like it's really, it's anything that has to do with your life and things that you're even a little bit interested in, even if it's a temporary interest. Sometimes we have things going on in our life, or there's a situation at school. I don't go to Google and read articles. I jump online and try to find a Facebook community that fits with that specific need that I'm looking for so that I can find other humans who are going through what I'm going through and I can get some advice. And that's where I end up finding my people. So the first thing is think of groups.
So what I want to know is in the comments, guys, what are like she's saying this and it's like, oh my God, right. I usually go into health and wellness groups, or I go into makeup groups like Sarah said, or I go into woman helping women entrepreneurs because everybody wants to be an entrepreneur in that group, right? Like those are like the cookie cutter, like, oh my God, all you're doing is talking to other network marketers. Like, let's be honest, you know? So what are some of those groups that you're thinking of? You're like, oh, I really like knitting. I should be in a knitting group. Or maybe I want to join a virtual book club, and maybe I should see if there's like a mom's book club group that I could join, right? Like, I love that. So in the comments, put some of the groups that you were thinking of for yourself personally that would work for you as Sarah is saying this.
Yep. And so I'm kind of going to walk you through my strategy once I join these groups. And what I want you to think of is don't join these groups thinking like all business all the time. I think that holds a lot of people back because we get into the group and then we're like, oh, what did she say? Oh, she could use my product. Oh, that person has a need and I could fill it. And we don't want to like jump into the groups and with that mentality of like, what can I sell? What can I sell? What can I sell? What we want to do in the group is like, how can I connect with these humans? How can I find friends? How can I find people who I can help them and they can help me? And so that's really the mindset that I want you to be in when you're thinking of these groups. And so I would choose maybe like 3 to 5 groups. If this is new for you, and you have not really used Facebook in this way to start to generate some leads, I would join maybe 3 to 5 groups. And then the first step, what I always do when I join a new group is I do an introduction post. And so what I typically do there is I will put a selfie. So I will put a picture of me because we know that the algorithm favors that. And so I will usually just compliment the group. So then I usually make a post and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this where all my people are? You guys are so much fun. I am loving this group. I'm so excited to get to know you. Here's a little bit about me. Not too much because people really like, they don't need your life story, right? They just want to know like, okay, cool, she's like me. And you want to be like a little funny, a little witty, like something like that. And then I usually ask a question. So for example, I just moved to Florida. So I found the local moms group and I just made a post and I said, hey, I'm Sarah. I'm super excited to join this group. Holy cow, this area is so beautiful. Can anybody let me know about a church? I'm looking for a youth group for my kids. I said I was a hot mess. And the comments just flew in with people saying like, girl, I'm a hot mess too. Oh, you're so normal. Oh, my kids are the same as you. And I just started messaging people like, hi, I'm so excited. Thanks. Oh, you have kids my age. Cool. And I started just asking them questions, not because I want to prospect them, not because I want them to buy my product right out the gate, or I'm interested in learning what they need for their health and wellness journey. I just genuinely am trying to make some friends. And
I'm going to stop you. So they
yeah.
comment on your post,
Yep.
and then you show up in
Yep.
their messenger.
I do, not every single person, but if there's somebody that I connect with. So say like I said something about like my son was shy or something like that. And so another person might have commented and said, I have a 14-year-old too, who's really shy. We live around the corner. Okay, cool. So then I sent her a message.
Did you friend request or just send a message? I just want to be very clear.
I sent a friend request and then I send a message. So I'm like, hey, hope it's cool. Just sent you a friend request. Blah, blah, blah. And then just started kind of asking her some questions like, hey, what part of the area do you live? Oh, what youth group does your kiddo go to? You know, something like that. And just kind of asked some questions. And then I just like keep them in my news feed. Like I just comment on a lot of their posts and this kind of like, I don't know. It's very hard for me to teach a little bit because it just comes so natural to me. So yes, I love that you're kind of helping me break it down.
So you're making friends. You're not making sales. Is that
Right.
what I'm hearing, Sarah?
Exactly. I'm a professional friend maker. That is what I say.
Put that in the comments, professional friend maker, because here's the thing. Sarah sells $20,000 in sales in a month, but she did not sell when she met these people, right? She was building the like, know, and trust factor. She is literally a professional friend maker. And Sarah, you're an introvert, aren't you?
I actually am. This is what I say. I'm only social on social media. Like when I'm with my people, I'm cool, but I am incredibly shy. Like if I go to a party, I'm going straight to the family pet and standing in the corner. Like I am not going to be like, hi, my name's Sarah. I'm hanging in the corner with the dog. Like
So here's the thing, like I'm an extrovert. So this is how I know this, because Sarah and I was like, I need to go to like the coffee shop every week now. I am losing my mind. She's like, oh my God, I want to stay home for the rest of my life. I never want to leave my house. And I was like, oh my gosh, no. Like, I need people around me. She's like, social media. I was like, no. I need people around me, right?
Yeah.
So this works for your introverts and for your extroverts out there. It works for everybody.
Totally. And one thing, I had somebody last week who said, I hate the small talk when we have to prospect people and we're sending cold messages. I hate the small talk. Like, oh, how old are your kids? Oh, mine too. Like this, like back and forth, awkward small talk because we're trying to cultivate a relationship, but it feels very forced and it feels very like when can I pitch? When can I pitch? When can I pitch? And so if you just really focus on becoming a friend first and asking questions and be interested in other people and be interested in yourself, you really start to just naturally develop a friendship. So it's perfect for those people who hate the like small talk. I hate small talk. So I don't have to be like, what are your interests and what do you do on the weekends? Like, kill me. I don't like, no, can't do it. Can't do it.
Okay, so you show up in their messenger, you send them a friend request, you help them, they help you.
Yeah.
You leave it at that?
And here's the thing where I don't have a system. I don't have a notebook, you guys. I really don't. And maybe I should, but this is how it works for me. The way that I am very consistent on social media. So I post on my personal profile once a day without fail, other than when I was moving. Okay. So, but if you go to my personal profile, you will also notice that I curate my personal profile in a way that every post that I make is thought out. It's very well planned. I go through my personal page once a week and remove any people tag me on their quizzes or whatever, remove those. I keep my personal profile very clean so that when you're showing up in groups, what are people going to do? They're going to creep you, right? They're going to be like, oh, who's that girl that has like 1 million likes on her comment? Like, that's crazy. They're going to come over to your page. And so when they come to your page, you want to be sure that your Facebook personal profile is set up in a way that they know who you are, they know what you have, and your page does not look like a billboard for your product. Your page cannot look like a billboard because they will see through that. They will be like, oh, great. That's why she wants to be my friend. She's a network marketer. They are. Sorry.
So how many of you guys have ever creeped somebody's page? Put creeper in the comments if you know exactly what Sarah's talking about, right? You're like, oh, who's this person, right? And I will go, and when somebody sends me a friend request, the first thing I do is I go and creep. And I'm like, oh, they are throwing up their product. I know exactly what's going to come next. And I could almost like guarantee the pitch is coming, and it feels icky, right? It feels gross. All right. So, okay. So you're building these conversations, you're having these things, your profile looks great. You don't have a picture of your dog in your profile, Sarah?
Exactly. I have my face as my profile picture so people know who I am. I have a little lead magnet at the top of my page, so it shows that I'm giving some value to people. So say I make a connection with somebody in a Facebook group, they go to my Facebook page and they see, oh, she has a free Facebook Live guide. Oh, I have a little business. Oh, she teaches. They're going to click around, you guys. They're going to drop into your funnel naturally, not because you've sold to them, not because you're trying to pitch to them, but because you've just made a friend, you've made a connection on social media. And now you don't have to like write their name down and stalk them every day and be sure that you're commenting on their page every single day. Like, you just naturally can engage with that person. And then I make sure that I try to do Facebook stories so they can watch my stories. And that's where I talk a little bit more about my products. And I will share a little bit more about my products in my Facebook stories, and occasionally like one post a week. But I do not like billboard out my business, my opportunity, all of that. But I make sure that I curate my post in a way that makes people know that I am somebody who's building a business online, that I am a leader in the industry, that I do have something that works for my family. So I make sure that the posts that I share on social media are very curated for that. So.
I call them power posts, and I have like a whole training on power posts. I don't even know if I have like a lead magnet for it. But if you want the power post, I don't know if I have, I created so much stuff. Like, it's so crazy. But I can do a training on power posts if you guys want to know what like a power post is, right? So Sarah, what I'm hearing you say though, is that you make it very known that you have a business, right? But you're not spammy. Now, I have ADHD, it's undiagnosed. I recommend personally writing down people's names of recent friend requests, because with this stupid Facebook algorithm, you might never see them again and they go into the abyss of like nothing, right? So that's why I use my Power Prospecting Planner. You can use something like this to keep your business in check so that you know exactly, yep, Katie says she loves Trello, whatever it may be, whatever works for you. You definitely, I know Sarah's got the ADHD thing going on. So can you imagine if she was like a little bit more organized? Like,
Could you imagine what I could do? And this has medicated me. Like, this is medicated, Sarah. But it works. And I just really do attraction marketing. But yeah, could you imagine if I had a book that I could follow up with people and I was really organized? I could rule the world, you guys. But
oh, I know.
But this works for me. And it feels very natural to me. As I come from a background of like very anti-MLM, anti-direct sales, this works for me. And it just feels, it's a very natural way for me to work my business. And so that's how I do it. So, yeah.
So then they come to you. Do you message them about the opportunity? Like, how do the conversations flow?
Typically somebody will just, typically they'll see a Facebook story. I do polls. I do sticker polls on my Facebook stories a lot. In fact, yesterday, I think I had eight to 10 people who like responded to my Facebook poll. And so I was able to have several conversations yesterday and close several sales yesterday just from doing a sticker poll in my Facebook story. So I find those to be really effective because people will not comment on a post typically, especially if we're talking about health and wellness. Sometimes they don't want to make a post publicly and be like, yeah, I need to lose 50 pounds, but they will respond in a Facebook story or a poll, and they are more likely to talk to you. And the money is in Messenger, guys. So any way that I can get them to Messenger that's where we're going to win all the time. So whether or not I message them first and start that conversation, great. If I can get them talking back to me through a sticker poll, fantastic.
Give me an example. I need an example.
So yesterday I had a customer message me and just say that she was feeling so good on the new products. And so I just screenshot her text message to me that said she had lost 3 pounds already. She was feeling awesome. I put that screenshot in Facebook stories. I put a little picture of the product, and then I just put a poll that said, would you like to feel better like my customer? Yes or sure. I don't put yes or no because I don't need anybody saying no to me. So I put yes or sure. So they
or don't vote, right?
I'm like, don't vote. So either skip it or just you can vote yes, because that's what you're going to get. So that's what I do. And then people just vote. And when they do the little vote, I send them a message. I'm like, hey, are you cool if I send you some information? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. That's it.
Okay. So one of the other things that you and I had talked about before this, okay, guys, if you have any questions for Sarah, definitely make sure you put them in the comments. We will definitely be able to answer them. But one of the things, Sarah, that you were saying is when you're inside of these Facebook groups, right? So you've introduced yourself, maybe you've asked questions and you're like connecting with those people, but there's also something that you also do when you're inside of those Facebook groups. Talk to us about what you personally do to engage with people.
Are you talking about how I will help people, like help them with their resources? Okay, yeah. So this is my secret guru trick, you guys. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to be very helpful inside of these Facebook groups. So a situation that happened just a couple of weeks ago was there was somebody who said she desperately needed to figure out a way to make her business work. She was a baker and she was pregnant and she needed to make income really quickly. And so the comments that were on her post were, of course, pitching offers, right? Oh, I work from home. I do this. I do that. I do this. I'd love to introduce you to my opportunity. What did I do? Even though I have an opportunity that could help her, she doesn't need that in this moment. What she needed is like, how do I get this bakery business working? So I just responded on the comment, and I just said to her, hey, I've been in marketing for 12 years. I would love to take a look at your Facebook page. It's probably something very simple that we could tweak, but I love helping business owners succeed on social media. No strings attached. I'm not selling you anything, but I would love to help you. Well, guess what happened? Not only was I able to help her, but other people who were watching that post also messaged me and also followed me and commented and heart and, did the little reaction and commented below my post and was like, wow, that's so helpful. Hey, I do graphics in Canva. I'd love to help her too. And all of a sudden I had like a bunch of women who were working together to help this other woman earn money for her family and help solve her problems. And so you have to know when is the right time to talk about your product and when you really just need to be a helper. And so I will often do that. Or another thing that I will do is I will go look up a resource for somebody. Say they ask a question online and they say something like, I don't know, does anybody know how to track my macros? Or does anybody know, some question like that. I don't know that offhand. That's not my area of expertise, but what can I do? I can go to Google and I can find her a really great resource. And then that gives me a reason to send her a message. And I can say, hey, I saw your post. I'm in the group. Listen, I think you got a lot of great comments, but I went a step further. And I found this really helpful resource for you, or here's 3 articles, or here's an awesome TikTok video that I watched recently. I think you would love to see this. And I send them a message. And that just really, it makes them feel like more relaxed. I'm not trying to pitch. I truly in my heart, I really, truly just want to help people. And whether or not they buy my products down the road or not, I've been a resource to them. And I have helped them, and that will help cultivate a relationship because we are building trust by me just offering help.
And yes, I love this. And I'm sorry, I was sharing this out because it's so good. But guys, here's the thing, right? Like what Sarah is saying is that she is human first. How many of you guys like to solve people's problems? Put problem solver in the comments, guys. Like this is who we are at our core because we love to help people. And whether it's for our product, whether it's for our opportunity, it doesn't flippin' matter, right? Like if Sarah does a post now on her main page, whether people have ever bought her product or ever joined her team, guys, her engagement is through the roof organically. Like everybody cheers Sarah on, and I'm just, I got like a tenth of what she's got going on. You know what I mean? And I've had massive. And so the reason is because she is just a good human. All right. If you are a good human, raise your hands because good humans win as long as we get rid of commission breath, right? Commission breath is stinky and it doesn't work for you, right? If your best friend asked you about something or a friend or a mom at pickup, what would you do? You would solve their problem.
Right.
This is the exact same thing that you're doing is you are solving people's problems online, whether it's your best friend, whether it's a mom you know at carpool, pickup, it doesn't matter, right? You're being a good human. And then here's the other thing, right? Like this is what I'm all about, the confidence. How good does it feel inside when you start to help people, right? So you're building up your confidence. You're building up your mojo. Maybe you didn't get a sale. Doesn't matter. You did something better. You got somebody help that needed help.
Yep. And I feel like when you put good out into the world, you guys, I don't have any reason of why my business has been super successful. I don't do anything different. I'm no one super special. I literally
you are. Let's just own it. You are so special.
I honestly don't though. Like I am a hot mess and I really hold on to that. And it's taken me a long time to be like, wait, I told Julie this last week. I'm like, wait, I actually do things like strategically, I guess. I just don't think about them because it's just ingrained in who I am. I just want to help people. And so I seek out the groups that I know that I can be a helper. I know that I can be a resource. I join a lot of direct sales groups and I can learn things from those groups, but I also know that I'm a few steps ahead of those people too. And so if I can be a resource to them, if I can tell them what I did with my team, if I can tell them a trick that I've learned, then I join those groups. And I also get to know the admins in groups too. I just want to share that tip. I will reach out to the admins in groups too and just tell them, hey, I love this group, or, I'm really enjoying this, or I'll ask them a question and try to get to know the admins of some of these groups too, because then you'll cultivate a relationship with that person who has grown a group to, 10,000, 20,000, whatever. So
that's awesome. So when you join groups, Sarah, can you give us, before we go, can you give us like just a few tips on like, what is a good group to join, right? Like it gives us the statistics, it gives us the analytics. Like, what do you personally look for?
I don't know that I have like I try to look for a group that has a lot of engagement. So right when you go to join a group, it will tell you like how many new posts per week and how many new members have been added. So I just make sure that the group is active. I join groups and leave them all the time because I'm like, people aren't talking in here. I want a group that is active. I want a group where there is new posts going up every hour. Like I want to hang out in a group, and I want the group to have things that I can comment on. So if I join a group and I see things that I can answer, like right at the top, I'm like, oh, I can comment on that. I join those groups because what you want to do is be really active in the groups too. So you want to comment on a lot of posts. You want to heart and do the reaction on a lot of posts. If you can be the first person to leave a comment on a new post and your comment is awesome, so people will heart that, they'll give a reaction, it'll show up as the most relevant post. So guess what? Your name is on the top comment of that post because it's relevant. If you can put a picture in a comment, you're going to be the most relevant and people are going to see your name. I'm in groups now where people are like, where'd Sarah go? I haven't heard from her in a week. Like I'm very active. Like this is my job. And so, yeah, so look for a group that is very active. Look for a group that is engaged. Again, look for groups that that you have common interests with. Like there's not any other thing I really look for, just that it's very active and engaged and relevant to me.
Somebody says, how do you find these groups?
Literally, just type it in the search bar on Facebook. If I have a new like medical diagnosis, because I'm a weirdo, like a health anxiety weirdo, like I got to find people who know what I'm going through, especially with my immune deficiency and stuff like that. So I just go to the top and I type in like what it is. Or if I type in moms of teens, right? Moms of preteens, or
I just joined a moms of tweens, and I was like, okay. So I asked them, I was like, okay, I'm going to try the Sarah Strunk method, and I'm going to, and I asked them I asked a question. I was like, hey, how many of you guys monitor your kids' phones? I'm using Bark and I don't love it. Right? True. I mean, I need help because I'm like, okay, I couldn't even keep up with the comments. I almost had to turn off the notifications. I was like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. And now like I'm seeing like all these notifications, right? And so it's doing things like that, finding that group. So if you go up to the search in Facebook and then there's a groups tab, then you go and you can see all of the groups, and then it'll tell you the analytics of like how engaged the group is, like Sarah was talking about, right?
Yeah. There's also a Discover tab too. So when you're on your phone on the app, if you go to the Groups tab, there's a Discover tab too that'll give you groups based on like your activity on Facebook. So it'll actually give you some groups to join. And so you can look on there for some ideas. But like I said, make a list of 3 to 5 things that you're genuinely interested in. Like you could use knowledge in that area and join those groups. And they could be professional groups, but just keep in mind that you don't want to join like the networking type groups, because those are people that typically are network marketers as well, and they're just looking for other people to sell their stuff to.
Right.
So
unless you're a top leader like Sarah and I are, and you can offer advice and give help, and like, I have my course for YouTube. So of course I'm going to be in those groups because I'm going to let people know how another way to build, but if that's not you, then don't be in those groups.
Is there something you really love and that you're really good at? Like I'm really good at Facebook Live. So I might be in a group that's like Facebook Live for beginners group, or you know what? Start your own group. You can do that. I've done that lots and lots of times. Start your own group on the specific topic that you love to talk about. Not that you want to sell, but a topic that you just love to teach people about. And when you set yourself up as like a leader or the expert, like I am in certain groups and people will tag, they know that I'm the expert in like say on boards. So there are some groups that I'm in that if anyone has a question on the boards app, they're like, oh, let me tag Sarah because she's awesome on boards. She knows it. So when you get in these groups and you also share what your expertise is, people will start to tag you in those places and you will become like the group expert on YouTube or on whatever. So look for groups like that too.
I love it. I love it. Somebody just said, do you wait for them to message you about the product, or do you, I think you kind of answered it, but it was a question.
I don't, I take the product completely out of my mind. My entire focus on when I'm on social media is just make some friends. Don't focus on the prospecting. Again, I should have a book. I should do something. I don't. I just talk to people and I just post about my business and my products in my stories. So hopefully people will just find my stories and follow along with what I'm doing in there. People are far more likely to creep your stories.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, hashtag value if you've gotten lots of value from this. This has been super duper helpful. And here's the thing why I feel like why I wanted to bring Sarah back on. Because if we all are being honest, right? Reels, TikToks, shorts, all of those things have slowed down our funnels real quickly with the algorithm changes that have happened, right? So maybe 6 months ago, a year ago, you were like, oh my God, I'm too busy keeping up with all of these posts and all these comments on my Facebook reels and on my, whatever. And I've got all these new followers and stuff. And that has come to, I don't want to say a standstill, like you can still have success, but it's not blowing up to the same extent that it was. This is like tried and true years over time, because what we are as network marketers is we are networking, you know what I mean? And so that is what Sarah is doing. She is networking. She is not a network marketer. And so now it's time, with the reels and everything kind of slowing down, now it's time to really hone in on our skills and getting better at making those connections. Because I can tell you personally, I'll be fully honest, Sarah joined my team, right? And she crushed it out of the gate. Now, this is a generic training. We haven't mentioned our company or anything, but she crushed it out of the gate. We're talking $22,000 in sales personally, right? Wasn't it? Was it 22?
Yeah, I think it's something around there. Yeah.
$22,000 in personal sales in 1 month, guys. 1 month. And 10, 15 business builders that she brought in 1 month, because she has been marrying this process for so many years. Okay. And so it's not because she came over from a different company, or it's not because she, because of her success. It's because of the connections that she has made throughout all of this process on Facebook. And I am telling you, you see, if you go and stalk her, go be a creepy stalker and go and look at Sarah Strunk online, and she does a post, and like within seconds, there are hundreds of comments and hundreds of likes. She is like a micro influencer, but it's only because people absolutely love and adore her. Because she's cute, she's authentic, she's her, she shows up as the hot mess that she is. If you're not a hot mess, don't show up as a hot mess. She's like, Julie, you're not a hot mess. You can't show up. I was like, well, I am sometimes, but not often. You know what I mean? Like, she shows up authentically her, and she attracts her tribe. Okay. And that's the key to this success. And she's married the process and divorced the results.
Yep. I perfectly said. Thank you. It really has. And it's a long game. I've been building a business on Facebook for 12 years, but it truly does work. And when you just, you step back and you just say, let me just cultivate relationships with as many people as I can. Let me pour into them. Let me make my post on social media about them, not about me. Every social media post that I make, is it going to entertain, educate, or empower somebody? And so that's really what I try to do with every single post that I make. Has a purpose to it. It could be relatability. It could be, it could just be, yes, I'm going to sneak my business into here a little bit, but I really do think long and hard before I make a post. And I keep that personal page really cleaned up well. And so that it's a place that people come, that they can connect with me and they don't feel sold to.
I love it. I love it. So hashtag value, guys, if you've gotten value. Sarah, thank you so much. Congratulations on all your massive success, because you're absolutely crushing it, and you're doing it the right way. You're giving network marketing the right sort of energy that needs to be out there, because when it's done right, it's such a good industry, right? Like, we're just helpful. I don't care if you buy my product, like, it's just helpful. And that's what people need to see from network marketers, not the spammy sales, nasty, like gross. Oh my God. Like the stories, the messengers. Do it the right way, and you're going to have massive success. Does it happen overnight? It does not happen overnight. Does it take time? It does take time. But along the way, she's learning about her health. She's learning about her ADHD. Like, it's a win-win for everybody. So Anyway, Sarah, thank you so much for having us. I will see you guys next Monday. Again, I'll be back to my Monday schedule. I hope you have an amazing week. And if you've got any questions, let me know. As always, definitely go be a creeper on Sarah's wall. You'll see exactly what it is we're talking about. Bye, guys.